Welcome back to Data Science Live. So, we've already mapped out the data structures for Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. To complete the big four, today we're skipping all the fluff and launching straight into a rapid-fire explainer on the behavioral mechanics and the actual math behind viral TikTok content. If you want to know how this platform truly works under the hood, buckle up because we're moving fast.
All right, let's just dive right into this. Zero. Zero is your baseline. Why? Well, unlike legacy platforms, the TikTok algorithm literally could not care less about your channel's past success or failure. It treats every single uploaded piece of content as a completely independent test variable. You could have 0 followers, absolutely 0 history, and still hit millions of views literally overnight if the data aligns. To understand exactly how 0 followers can equal millions of views, let's look at Section 1, the interest graph shift. The underlying data architecture here is just a total paradigm shift. Traditional networks, like Facebook, they map a social graph. They push content based on who you follow and who your friends are. But this new system, it relies entirely on an unbiased interest graph based purely on your raw, unfiltered viewing behavior. It doesn't care who you know, it only cares about what actually captures your attention. And the direct output of this interest graph is the For You page, or the FYP. It's basically a highly efficient discovery engine perfectly calibrated to your current psychological state. It reacts in real time, learning from every little micro-hesitation and swipe you make, just to serve you a continuous stream of perfectly optimized content. Which brings us to Section 2, the algorithmic evaluation cycle. So how does this massive sorting machine actually process your content? Here's the exact workflow. Step 1, your upload hits the system. Step 2, it gets pushed to a Tier 1 batch of about 300 to 500 diverse users. This is a mix of any active followers you might have, plus random FYP browsers. Step 3, metric scoring kicks in to track your interactions in real time. And if it passes? Step 4, it hits the graduation loop to reach a Tier 2 audience of up to 50,000 users. It is a ruthless, completely automated testing cycle. Now, whether your content actually graduates to that next tier depends entirely on Section 3, the metric scorecard hierarchy. Let's look at what the system is actually grading you on. Notice the massive disparity here. The system highly values viewing duration and completion way over the incredibly weak signal of a simple like. Not all data points are created equal in this game. Watch time and completion rate are your absolute highest priorities. The ultimate question the algorithm asks is incredibly simple. Did they finish the content? And even better, did they watch it multiple times? If the answer is no, your algorithmic journey pretty much stops right there. Now, beyond completion, shares are the ultimate viral trigger. Think about it. When someone shares a piece of content, they're providing mathematical proof that they want to be actively associated with it. They're taking your variable and pushing it into their own personal network. The algorithm rewards this massively. Dropping down the hierarchy, we've got comments and likes. Comments are great, right? They signal conversation and active engagement. But a like? Honestly, a like requires the absolute least amount of user effort. Because it is just so easy to double tap and keep scrolling, it naturally has the lowest statistical impact on your overall metric score. And this brings us to the golden rule of the platform. This graduation cycle repeats indefinitely, testing larger and larger audiences, but only until the metric scorecard drops below the algorithmic threshold. The absolute millisecond those metrics drop, boom, it instantly kills its distribution. All right, with the evaluation mechanics all mapped out, let's pivot to Section 4, engineering viral content growth. These are the actionable inputs you can use to kind of hack the scorecard and beat the system. We know this audience has a lightning-fast filter. Because users swipe away almost instantly, your absolute highest priority has to be the 2-second hook. You need an immediate visual or psychological trigger within those first 2 seconds to stop the scroll and secure that precious retention rate. I mean, if you don't win those 2 seconds, the rest of your creation honestly doesn't even mathematically exist. And hey, speaking of watch time, check out this target metric, greater than 100%. Yeah, you can actually mathematically trick the algorithm into registering over 100% completion rates by using looping mechanics. This is a brilliant structural hack where the end of your content flows so seamlessly right back into the beginning that it catches the viewer totally off guard. They end up accidentally watching the first few seconds of the loop all over again. Furthermore, because Gen Z is using this platform heavily as a primary search engine now, The system is actively reading everything you post. The machine scans three distinct pillars: your audio via auto captions, your visual data through on-screen text, and your metadata through your descriptions. It uses all of this just to properly categorize you.
This multi-layered SEO scan is exactly what allows the algorithm to inject your independent test variable perfectly into the right micro-community. By indexing your text and audio, it literally finds the exact subset of users whose interest graph perfectly aligns with your content. This completely maximizes your chances of passing that initial Tier 1 test group. So, as you go out there and optimize your hooks, your loops, and your text to feed this highly efficient mathematical machine, I'm going to leave you with one final thought. When you actively change how you communicate just to satisfy the scorecard, are you manipulating the algorithm, or is the algorithm quietly manipulating your behavior? Definitely something to think about the next time you catch yourself scrolling. Thanks so much for joining me on Data Science Live, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.